Today we're going to be starting a new unit, so we'll jump ahead in our book. We're going to be learning about integers, so positive and negative whole numbers. Our first lesson is going to be on gains and losses. The first question is going to ask you to write a plus sign if the net result is a gain, so they'll give you a situation, or a minus sign if the net result is a loss. So basically at the end of the situation, if you would end up with money, you'd put a plus. If you would lose money, you'd put a minus. So if you had a gain of 4, so you got $4, okay, we have a positive result. If, however, you had a gain of $1, but then you lost $4, you would have a loss at the end of the day, right? You would have lost more than you had gained. Question 2 asks you to write a sequence of gains and losses using numbers and signs. So what we do is we look at each part. So we'd have a gain, so that means we're going to start with a plus, a gain of 3, so it would be plus 3, and then we have a loss, which would be negative of 5. Minus 5. So you would have plus 3 minus 5. For our next example, you'd start with a loss. So if you have a loss, we're starting negative of 3, so minus 3, and a gain plus of 7, plus 7. In our last example for this question, we have a bit of a longer sequence. So first we start with a loss of 6, minus 6, a gain of 9, so gain is plus 9, a loss minus of 3, and then a gain plus of 2. For question 3, they'll give you a sequence similar to what we were creating in the last question, and you will have to decide whether the sequence overall is a gain or a loss. So if we look at this one, if we gained 5 and lost 3, well, we gained more than we lost. So we would still be left with something. So we would have a net gain. Overall, we would have a gain. If, on the other hand, we lost more than we made, so we gained 3 and then we lost 5, we would have lost more than we gained. So we would actually have a net loss. So the easiest way to do this is just look for, is your gain or your loss bigger? And then that is the symbol that you will use. Question 4 is going to ask you, how much did you gain or lose overall? So we're actually going to not just put a math symbol like a plus or a minus, but a number as well. So if you gained 5 and then if you gained 6, and then you lost 5, you would still have 1, but it would be 1 positive, right? Sometimes it's helpful to think of these situations as a money scenario. So if you lost $4, so losing $4 might mean I owe my sister $4. And then if my mom gives me 3, I add 3 to it, I could pay back my sister almost, but I would still owe her $1. So it would be negative 1. You might also run into some situations where if you got $5 and you lost $5, you now have $0. Right? So it's okay. Zeros don't have a positive or a negative, but everything else will need to be a plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, or a negative. Question 5 will get us to do things in 2 steps. The first one is to group the gains and losses together. So first I'm going to put my gains. So I've got a gain of plus 4 and plus 2. So I'm just rewriting this sequence, but so that all the gains are at the front, and then all the losses are at the end. Then my second step is to write the total gains or losses. So I'm not finding a final answer. What I'm simply doing is going, okay, here's all my gains, plus 4 and plus 2. So when I put those together, that gives me plus 6, and then I have my losses. If I had more than one loss, I could add those together. In an example like the next one, we'd follow the same steps. So minus 7 and minus 5 are both losses, so we'll put those first and then put our plus 9 at the end. Then when we're grouping our losses, if you lose 5 and you lose 5, if you lose 7 and you lose 5 more, it means that you have lost 12 altogether. So the minus sign stays, but it's almost like you're adding those two numbers, okay? And then plus 9. Question 6 is similar, but breaks things into quite a few more steps. So your first step is to circle all the gains. So we would go through plus 3, plus 4, plus 6. So you notice it's just the plus symbol plus the number after it. Then it says to group the gains and losses. So we've already circled our gains, so we'll start with those. And then we'll put in our losses. So minus 5, minus 1, minus 2, minus 4. Now, we need to combine our gains and losses. Okay, so we need to add all of our gains together. So 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 6 is 13. And this is a gain of 13. Now, if you lose 5 and you lose 1 more, you've lost 6. If you lose 2 more, you've lost 8. And you lose 4 more, you have lost 12. So we have an overall loss of 12. If you got 13 and you lost 12, you are left with a gain of 1. Because remember, your positive is bigger than your negative. In question 7, we'll be learning that when the same number is gained and lost, the two numbers add 0 to the expression, so we cancel them out, right? So if you got 4 and you lost 4, that would be 0, so they could cancel each other out. For example, in this question, we have a minus 3 and a plus 3, so they have a partner, so together they would become 0, so we would be left with plus 7. They'll start to give you longer sequences as well. So what I do is look at the first number and then go, okay, can I find its 0 pair? So if I had minus 3, I'm looking for the same number with the opposite symbol. So I'm looking for a plus 3. Oh, yep, I've got it here. So I'm going to cross both of those out. They cancel out to make 0. Next I have plus 2. Is there a negative 2? Oh, yep, there is here. So we'll cross both of those out. Plus 4. Do I have a plus 4? Or negative 4? Nope, that's the only 4. So I'm going to keep that one. I have minus 5. Are there any other positive 5s? Nope, so I'll keep that one. Plus 6. Do I have a negative 6? I do. So they cancel each other out. So I'm only left with plus 4 minus 5. Then I can figure out what the total loss or gain is. Well, my loss is bigger than my gain, so I know overall I'll have a loss. So if I got $4 and then I lost $5, I would still be missing 1 more than I had, right? If I had to pay a bill of $5. They will also give you a question where they've done some canceling out here, and they're left with the number plus 7. So that's their answer, but there's actually a mistake. So we need to go through and see where is this mistake. So we're going to look at the first number. Minus 4. Okay, did they cancel out a positive 4? Yes, they did. So I'm actually just going to use another color to confirm what they've done. Okay, these ones should be canceled out. Now, plus 5. So that means I should be looking for a negative 5. Do I have another negative 5? I don't. So this one actually should not be canceled out. I have plus 3. Oh, there's my negative 3. So those ones, they were correct to cancel them out. They didn't cancel out the plus 7, but there's no other plus 7, so that makes sense. Now we've got another plus 5, but there's no negative 5. And this is where we might realize what has happened. right? Because we have a -8 and a +8. Those ones should be canceled out. They canceled these out because they're both 5, but +5 plus 5 is not 0, it is 10. It's like getting 5 and getting 5 more. So actually, this should equal 17 because we wouldn't cancel out 5s if they have the same sign because they would not make 0. Now, I will have a Google form for this lesson for you to fill out. Remember to submit it and mark it as done. Please do ask for help if you are confused. I know several different strategies that I could use to explain this to you, but I didn't put them in this video because I don't want to overwhelm you with 5 different ways of doing it. But if you are feeling lost and you're not sure how we're getting there, please reach out to me so we can set up a Zoom call and I can give you the strategy that is going to work the best for you. Okay? Do not be afraid to reach out. This is a new and tricky unit that can take a little bit to wrap your head around.